Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back in. I tried to upload a video last week, but it got corrupted and it was a little bit too big, so I decided to refilm it, split it into 3 parts, and upload each part individually. So today we're going to be looking at my mail day over the last 2 weeks. It is quite substantial. In the next 2 videos, I'm going to be doing a Rockets versus Tyranitar collection comparison. This will showcase all of my different slabs for both, my complete Rocket collection that I have graded and my complete Tyranitar collection. They're about equal amounts, so be watching for those in the future. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and look at some really cool slabs and some raw cards that I got in. A lot of these were some that I got crossed off my want list, stuff I've wanted for a while, some stuff that I just found recently. Really cool additions to the collection, really excited about this mail day. You'll notice in the background that there is a Rocket box, the Japanese box. I will be opening that on camera, probably as a separate video, and we'll go through that and build a Rockets binder, doing a master set. I'm going to be doing a master set for every language variant. This set did come out in English, Japanese, German, Italian, and French. I also think it came out in Portuguese and Spanish. So it's a lot of different languages to collect. I do have people helping me allocate those boxes already, just waiting for them to come out at the end of the month. But we'll go ahead and start everything off with this French Tyranitar. Has a yellow ink obstruction, or maybe it's just obstruction where the red ink was obstructed, showing the yellow. It also has some up top here in the name. I got this card from my buddy Light Pichu, if you know him on Instagram. He has really cool stuff from time to time. I also got my square cut Tyranitar from him, my Shining Tyranitar. Really good dude. He's helped me get a lot of cool stuff recently, so I'm pretty stoked on this. These 2 cards were part of a trade deal that I did. I traded my Celebi EX that I had posted a reel about recently, the one that had 3 swirls. A guy really wanted it, and he put these plus 3 shadowless miscuts up for trade. Another person I knew wanted the shadowless miscuts, so since I got these in, I have since mailed out those shadowless miscuts for another trade deal that I'm doing. Looking forward to what comes in the mail. This one is just regular off-center, and it is the first edition one. I don't have too many Rayquaza airs, so this was a nice pickup. This one looks like it's just a miscut, and it's labeled miscut by this company, which is like the thinnest slab I've ever seen or held. It feels like I'm holding paper compared to other slabs. But the cool thing about this card is actually it's a misalignment, not miscut. The back is perfectly centered, while the front is actually minor miscut. Has an alignment dot down there. And it is Italian. I do have an English crimp version, so this will be cracked and graded with CGC so it can match with the English that I have already. This was a regular listing, just something on eBay that a friend of mine had shown me. It is a hollow shift. Got it almost at market value, maybe a little bit over, but it's really clean for a 9. Nice swirl, nice orbs through the whole hollow. Really happy with this one. This one will also be cracked for CGC. We'll see if it gets a 9 or if it goes up or down from there. and see if it gets the air. They're really stingy about these airs. Every time I have subbed with CGC, they have I've had to do a mechanical air submission and get cards fixed. I don't know what it is, but I submit about 50 cards at a time. I'm a pretty decent air collector. I can tell when something is an air. Due to their discretion, some stuff they deem worthy of an air designation and some stuff they don't. So we'll see what this one gets. This is something I just picked up from my Tyranitar collection. Really stoked on this. It's a Pop 1 with none higher. And I didn't notice it until I got it in person, but there's a swirl here. A swirl here by my thumb, and another one here. There is a swirl under this arm somewhere, probably about right here, but he is obstructing it and making it a 3 swirl. I haven't seen too many 3 swirl cards, but in the last month I've actually owned 3 of them, so that's pretty unique to find these. This was a recent pickup off of Macari. It is a yellow ink overspray. You can see little bits of yellow ink streaked along through here. And one thing that we found out is it's actually got a white ink layer air too. You can see there's a dark stripe going through there. We believe that the whole white layer is shifted over on the sheet, and that this blue strip is actually the strip right here that would receive less white ink than the hollow. It's unconfirmed yet, but it's just speculation. I got this one at a really good price. I've always liked this artwork. Togetic's one of my favorites from Gen 2. Like the rainbow in the background, nice swirl, and a good amount of yellow going through the body. And it was a decent grade, so overall happy with that. This is my probably most recent thing that I got in. You can see down here it is a misaligned print layer, or like a texture shift. I haven't held one of these raw, so I don't really know if it is textured or imprinted, or if it's just the print layer itself that you can't feel. But you can see the ghosting around the head and the wings. I have seen a few of these, but I couldn't get any prices, find any sales for it. I asked around, couldn't get any hits on it. Feel like I paid a pretty fair price for it. Got it for under $100. Probably more than the last one that had sold. But overall happy with it. 7.5 is pretty decent air grade for a Charizard, especially something like this that's this old, 1999. This card right here is probably one of my new favorites. I managed to get this off Facebook. A bunch of people had sent me the listing, tagged me in it, and the old owner was nice enough to overnight ship it from Italy. This card's simply amazing. I love these obstructions and how it turns gold in the hollow. It's normally would be like a white circle. You can see right here it's white, but over here in the hollow it's gold. And there are more obstructions. There's actually another one, like a few right here, one right there, one right there. There's one down here, one right there. Bunch of little obstructions. I am looking for an Italian Magikarp with the air, or really any air to go with this. But I did actually manage to pick up a German obstruction Shining Magikarp just this week. It is at the Authenticator, and I'll probably be doing a Shining collection, just all my Shining Pokemon all together. I do have quite a few, so when that one comes in, it'll be cool to see them all together. These are from Neo Rev, and the other ones are from Neo Destiny, so it is a little bit set difference, but it'll be cool to see everything that has the word Shining in it all together. But definitely top 5. This just got bumped up, and probably going to be getting a case for it, display case, so it can sit on my desk. These 2 cards were from my buddy in France. Somehow he had managed to find one of these legendary collections with the vertical crimp on it. I have seen quite a few of these. I do have 2 other LC crimps. This one was just graded authentic, I assume because it was crimped. I don't really know too much about these grading companies in other countries, but looks pretty decent to me, as long as it doesn't get like an altered grade or something like that, or not authentic. I think it should grade pretty decently. There is a crease on the front, but if it gets over a 3, I'd be happy with it. I also got this from the same guy. This is a repeating air on these French Dark Charizard EXs. I don't know if this comes straight from the booster box or if this was an ETB promo or if it's different over there, but I have seen quite a few of these. They have the same circle, same pattern, same spot. The other one I saw was a little bit less, and it wasn't, I believe it was a grade 8, so happy with this one. You can see through the hollow that the name is right in there. All the black ink is still there. So it was partially printed, but it was also obstructed. So this one will be cracked and graded at a CGC and added to my Charizard collection. If you know me, you know I don't collect jungle, fossil, too much base set other than Charizards or anything that's cool. But I have seen quite a few of these heavy saturated yellow ink. Snorlax has come through recently. This one didn't get the grade, so I will be trying to either crack and resub it or do it as a mechanical air. Just depends on what I end up doing first. But this one definitely deserves the air. It is strong enough to tell that this is no yellow ink and that is heavy yellow ink. And it's pretty obvious. So this one is deserving of the air. Got it super decent, reasonable price. Snorlax is one of the very few Gen 1s that I do enjoy, probably mostly from the anime episode where he's blocking the road. It's a classic. This is one of my new texture shifts. I do have quite a few of these, but they are mostly raw. This one I got for about $90 shipped, thanks to a friend of mine in Canada. He helped facilitate this. Had to jump on this one. Gen 2 Pokemon are always my favorite. Sneasel, loved him from the Pokemon Forever movie, and getting a Gem 10 air. Can't ever go wrong with these, especially English side. You know, you get a lot of 10 Japanese airs. They're pretty common, especially for texture shifting. This one wasn't the most texture shift, but it was a decent enough one. You can tell it's almost double stacked on the attacks and energies, the attacks, all the damage, the HP, the name. So, pretty happy with this one. Pretty cool. Alright, that brings us to the raw cards. To start it off, this was the first texture shift, and it's not very strong. It is very mild, but this was the first texture shift I was able to find. And if you look right there, you can tell Just the only way I could tell it was misaligned texture was by looking at the name. And the EX is shifted, the HP is shifted, and the eyes are shifted. Can't really tell too much on Crobat, but there's also right there in the middle, it's like a spot where it's missing ink. I'm hoping that might be, insufficient ink or something. Hopefully it doesn't get counted as damage, which is a good chance. Maybe this one will get the air if it's strong enough. I'm not really too sure. But I have since found stronger copies. They're just not in yet. I have been finding a bunch of the English side airs too. If you do find any drastic airs on the rocket sets, feel free to message me on Instagram. I will be collecting as many as I can find for a decent price, unless they're extreme. Then I'll pay, above market premiums. But I am trying to get a texture shift of all of the secret rare cards and stuff like that for my master collection set on the Rockets. Now this next card is one that's been on my want list for a long time. I should have bought it years ago when the prices were way, way better. I said, oh, that card's not going to go for too much more. It's not, something I have to have. Well, I said, let's go ahead and add one to the collection. I started looking, and I really had a hard time finding one at a decent rate, but a guy in France actually had this one. And it's really hard to tell because this whole card is hollow and printed on, but it's actually an off-center copy. And being French kind of drew me more to it, and it was almost cheaper than a regular copy in English. You can't really tell because it's in this sleeve, but the hollow is really nice. I haven't seen an English one to compare it. I have seen a Japanese one in person. So I would say it's close to the Japanese, but not quite. I imagine it's a little bit different than the English one too. But overall, really stoked. This one is going out to grading probably within the next week or so. I'm going to be doing a smaller sub, just sending out some hollow bleeds, some hollow shifts, gem 10s, airs that I expect should hit gem 10s, and they're definitely airs, so we'll see what everything gets. The seller was nice enough to include this miscut Zubat and this French Magneton that's also OC. Pretty cool to see stuff like this. I do have a Italian Magneton hollow bleed, but I think this is my first French Magneton. And this is something I got off of eBay. It was also something on my want list, something I should have bought a long time ago and didn't. If you know who Matt is on YouTube or in Discord, this card was actually featured in one of his videos. It's pretty cool to see. But it is actually a texture shift. See it at the name, where the head is, the tail. If it'll focus. Pretty much everything on the card is shifted, and it was a really mint copy. There's no whitening on any of the corners. There's like a little bit of dirt and dust and stuff in the case. This is a little, maybe a tiny nick from cutting on the bottom. That's the only thing I could see that would detract from this getting a 10. But I do expect this to get a 10 air, which would be really cool. I don't have too many Mew cards. This was one that I've wanted for a long time, so to get both of these recently, really big goals of mine. Definitely paid more than what they originally were, but happy to have them overall. These both will be going out to grading, as well as this card, which was something that I got from my buddy Lizardon on Instagram. This is a miscut, not NFC, German Delta species. So you can see it shows the next part of a card right there. Not really sure too sure what card this is, but could be like Clay Doll. I think that was a psychic type, and maybe Nidoking was too. Not too sure what else was in that set. Don't collect a whole lot of Delta species, but I do enjoy them, especially with this hollow pattern, the hollow edges, stuff like that. And this is a true miscut. You can see right there, has the alignment dot for the next card, if it'll focus. And it is a little rough on the edges. This should, if I had to guess, probably get about a 5.5, maybe 6. I'd be okay with any of that. Just getting it graded is more important to me than the actual grade itself. So we'll see. All these will be subbed together. Let me know which one was your favorite down below. Was it one of these three, or was it one of these slabs that I showed earlier? I feel like a lot of people are going to like one of these three over the slab stuff, but there were some good slabs in there too. I look forward to seeing what y'all say in the comments below.